To go with Gabriel section, on these modules we are going to be creating a navigation bar, so just a basic navigation bar. Let's go ahead and dive right in. Right on this page, I'm just going to clear this off. So spring this on, just clear this off. Everything I have here, I'm going to clear it off too. So the first thing to do is just that I'm going to be separating everything I'm going to be placing on my body divisions by division. So I'm just going to go like div with a class of nav bar. So nav bar stands for navigation bar, and right inside of it I'm going to having an another list, and inside each another list I'm going to be having a list item, and inside the list item I'm going to be having an anchor tag. So for now I'm going nowhere, so I'm just going to put home. So permit me to copy this home. So right here I'm going to be writing about. So right here I'm going to be writing contacts, and right here I'm going to be writing login. Let me just push sign up. Okay, that's all we got. Let's go ahead and view this in the page and see what we have. So this is all we have. We actually don't have anything much than just an another list, very straight on the line. So the goal is just to create a navigation bar with this little information that we have on our web page. Let's go ahead and do this, guys. So the first thing to do is just to move inside the style sheet and start selecting this one by one. So the first thing to do, we are going to select this div with a class of navbar. So div with the class of navbar, we should have get really much more familiar with this now. So height of auto, the width we want to give it, we want it to actually be 100%, and in my case I would like to give it a background color of black. So if you don't want to use the name, you can just use RGB, because I love using RGB 000. I think that should give you black. Alright, so this is all we got now. And other things I realized is that my website is having a padding and a margin from top. I actually don't want that, so by default I want to say padding of 0 and a margin of 0. If you don't know what a margin and a padding is, don't worry, I'm going to show you for a second. Okay, and the body, now the body itself, I don't want it to have any padding. I don't want it to have padding of 0 and a margin of 0. So you can see I'm actually able to eradicate the space behind this x-axis, so remain this space I have here on the top, and I'm guessing that is because of this on another list right here. So I can just come down, select the another list. So I should be wise when I'm selecting it, so I can go div with the class of navbar on another list like that. So then I'm going to declare the padding to be 0 and the margin to be 0. Alright, so I'm now able to eradicate it and now fix things the way it's supposed to be. Okay, I should give it height of auto. Okay, I love to declare these 3 properties on early elements, even or possibly all of my elements in the page. So just follow me along. Right here on this div again, I have to select the navbar again, the another list and the list item. So the first thing I want to give this one is the display. So the kind of display I'm going to have is called inline block. So inline block actually means that these guys right here, each of them, they should line up in a line and they should be in block, each block without having anything to do with each other. You can see right here, so I'm having them being displayed in line block. Okay, that's too good. So I'm going to give it padding of 0 to margin of 0. I'm not sure if I've actually explained what padding and margin means in my videos. I'm still doubting. Let me quickly go and check. Oh my god, I've not talked about it, so don't worry. I'll immediately I finish this class, I'm going to talk about it. In fact, let me just talk about it right now. So let's just leave this to be navbar. So let me just create another div. I'm just going to create a class of margin. Okay. So let's go back to the CSS. Let's quickly do this before we continue this code. Then I can go div the class of margin. I'm just going to give it a height of 300 pixels, width of 500 pixels. I think I want to write 500 pixels, and a background color of steel. Good. So let's just refresh this now. So you can see I'm having this another box right here. That's too big. Let me just put it on 300. That's too big. Okay. Oh my god, 200. So let me just declare what a margin means for you. A margin actually means a kind of a space between one element to another element. If you follow along very well and study this code I have right here, you can see from here, right from here, I have this div with a class of navbar that owns all these children. He just wants one children, he owns these, and this is children give back to all these grandchildren. Okay, so which means I only have these and these elements, so I want to give a space between this and this. So you can see they're actually viewing like as if I embedded it inside each other. See how I use viewing, it's too close to each other. So the only way to do that is just to use the margin property. So I can just say from here, maybe right from the page I want to move it from top to come down. I can say margin dash top, then from top move down from top, so 200 pixels. You can see, so from top is maintaining 200 pixels, so it's pushing it down 200 pixels. So probably I want it to maintain from side. I don't want it to cliff to this side. I want it to move a bit to somewhere right here. I can also use margin from left, that's from left, right, 200 pixels. You can see in fact margin allows us to create a space to move elements around the whole web page. So that is how we can use margin. And let me quickly show you about padding. So you can see now margin work external. It creates a space between elements and other elements that is outside of the scope of this element. So the between this element and these elements is creating this space, it's also creating this space. So padding work in a perverse method of this, or let me say in an inverse method of this. Instead of creating this space between element and element, it creates space between the parent element and whatsoever child element it is inside of it. So the space is created inside, not outside, as it is being showed here. Let me just show you. So let's say I throw a h3 tag that say welcome here, welcome to CSS. Let me just refresh this. For clarity, let's bring this back to where it is. So I'm just comment this out. Okay, we are back to square one. We are back to square one now. So the reason why you are seeing this page right from here is actually a fault that is coming from, let's inspect this page before I talk. So if you realize it, we are having a space right there for us to identify which kind of division is having this the space right there. If you click on the h3 elements actually have this property. So you can see it has a font size of this, it has a bold, it has this, it has that. If you check our diagram right here, this is our modern box. You can see it has a margin from top of 18.720 pixels and from bottom of 18.720 pixels. So we don't want this default styling. This is a default styling that came with the browser. It's actually default, so we can eradicate it by doing this. Div with the class of margin, go ahead and select the h1 element, and we want the margin to be 0, and we also want the padding to be 0. So this is actually why I used to do this a lot, because by default they have there are some elements that have this margin set. So h1, I said no, it is h3. So I'm just going to change this to h3. Thank you. So now it is being fixed now. So we can now go back and talk about, and just give it a color of white. Okay, that's not bad. Okay, so we have welcome to CSS now. So and sorry for that, that's my alarm, it's already 12. Okay, so we have this color of white already and it's being shown. So let's just go ahead and work with padding. So let me just say padding now. So I want to push the text. You can see the text is actually fixing itself to the top. So from the box, I want to push the text. Welcome to CS. I want to push it down. So I can say from top, come down 100 pixels. Padding from top, dash top, come down 100 pixels like this. So if I refresh, you can see it does come down 100 pixels. So I can say, okay, from left, can also say padding from left, come down 100. If you come from left, just push yourself 100 pixels. So you can see it push it itself 100 pixels. But what you are going to realize is that as I am trying to shift the padding, the size of the box is also increasing, and that is because the total width and height of any element is calculated by adding the padding, the height and the width together in order to give it the original or accurate size that it's supposed to take. But we CSS have a workaround that actually allow us to fix this bug. So to fix it, we can just go up here and click all, then come down right here and do box sizing of border box. So as you can see now, it's back to its normal. It's actually now back now. So we can now continue to move it around without enlarging the whole size of this box. Okay, so we can push it again by 200. In fact, that is just going to be one hell of a push, you can see, and that is not fine to me. It's not really fine to me. So from top to, let's decide to push it 200. We don't even see it again. We've over push it. You can see it's actually right down here, so we've over push it. So let's just clear this now to give it a kind of a, okay, the same way we are having padding from left, we can also have from right, we can have from bottom, we can have from left, we can have from many kind of dimensions, but we can decide to give each of them a equal padding by say, okay, padding by 50 pixels. So what does one mean? That on the top, the left, the right, the bottom, give everything 50 50 50 pixels. So you can see, so from there to here is 50 pixels, from here to here is 50 pixels, from here to here is 50 pixels, then from here to here is 50 pixels. So that is we, and we can also confirm that by inspecting our element, and we enlarge these and go into our box model right here. So we're just going to click on this class. You can see we have padding 50 50 50 50. So this is 50 50 padding that we have given onto it. Alright, so that is just the briefing for the introduction. I want to show you about padding and margin, which is not something that I'm supposed to do now, but I want to do it so that I won't just continue with this and everything will be looking magician, like as if I'm performing a magic. Okay, I'm just going to clear this off, guys. We don't need the element. I'll just quickly use it to explain the mystery of padding and margin. All right, so back here we are back to our navigation bar. So now we don't want these colors, we actually don't want them to be blue, we don't want them to be underlined, we don't want the way they are skewed together. The workaround that is actually there for that is to go ahead and select this div again, sorry, with a class of nav bar. On another list item and select the anchor tag. So if you go ahead and follow what I did here, it's just that I moved from this class of navbar, then I go to the another list. So this is the another list right here I selected, then I move to the list item. This is the list item, then I pick up the anchor tag. So this is the anchor tag. I just pick it layout by layout to get to where I'm actually going, and it's very important you pick any elements like that so that you can be certain that okay, truly this is the elements that I want to select. So here we are going to declare our color. So the color is going to be white. So this is it. Now we have the color to be white. So another thing we forgot here is the list type. So the kind of the list we want to have none. So that has been done for us by default, but for professionalism we need to add it there by itself. List type of none. We don't want any kind of styling, just none. Okay, so another thing I realize is that I'm still having the underline, so we just come here, we say text, oh my god, text decoration of none. Okay, now we are able to solve it. Now the only thing we have not able to solve is they being coming together like on one side, they are not spread out, and the way to do that is to give it a padding. So let's just check this trick out. You can see padding. Now we know what padding means now. So if I want to push it, I can see padding from left of 100 pixels like I did before. If I refresh this, you can see how they scatter throughout the whole page, but we don't want to do that because that's too much. This is really too much. 100 pixels, 100 pixels, 100 pixels, this is too much. So what we want to do is just to give it a little padding by saying top left, bottom right, top right, bottom left. So I'm going to do this slowly so that I can understand. So I'm just declaring the whole padding. So I'm going like 8 pixels, 8 times 2, that's 16 pixels. And if I refresh this really look good to me, really look really good, cool to me. So what I actually do here, it's something that is very simple. It's so simple. So what I say is that okay, let me just check it out here before I explain. So if you check our box model right here, you are going to realize is that we have padding from top to be 8 pixels and padding from bottom to be 8 pixels. So what this means that this first mean top and bottom should be 8 pixels and left and right should be 16 pixels. Let me come again. Top and bottom should be 8 pixels and left and right should be 16 pixels, and this is here. Top bottom is 8 pixels, left and right are 16 pixels. So that is actually what we want to have. This is what we actually been looking for. Look at it now. We are actually having a kind of a website that is cool, that is looking really good, but yet I still want to design this and give it more lot of this of a very good look. So let's just try to double things around, maybe probably 10 20 pixels. Okay, sorry, 20, just try 20. Oh my god, that's bad. Is it bad? That looks smaller to me. Okay, so let me just give it a display of block so that everything that is actually displayed is going to be in block. Okay, this is looking cool now. Let's try to increase this by 18 pixels. 18 plus 18 is going to give us what? Is that not 20? That's 21. I have a bad math, don't mind me. 18 plus 18, that is going to give us 36. Sorry, my bad. Is it 36? Okay, so now we are having this navigation bar right here, so we're having it right there. So another thing I realized is that once I'm putting my mouse on it, I don't even know there is no any design showing me that my mouse is here, my mouse is here, my mouse is here. So what I can do is just that go again for the anchor tag div with the class of navbar on other list item and anchor tag, and I see when it is over. So when someone over on it, just give me a background color of teal. So you can see now this is really, really cool. Wow, oh my god, this is too bad again, my bad. Let me try the 8 and 16 again. I don't like the way it's super big. That is super too big. Okay, this is cool, right? I actually try to bring this where you can see, so you can see now. So when I'm over on home, it is home. When I'm over on about, I can see about, contacts, and sign up. What if when I click this, there is nothing showing me to let me know if I actually click it? So for me to be able to add that, I'm just going to have the div.navbar on other list item, anchor tag, and when it is active. So when it is active means that when it is being clicked, I want to have tomato. So when I click on it, you can see I'm having tomato, and everything is working fine. So once you are able to build a simple navigation bar like this, probably which means that we are actually in it already, we can build something much more with this. In fact, we can turn this to a whole big website. Is this small? Is this the normal screen? 100%. Then I should increase this again, 10, 20. Okay, that's not bad. Or I should go by 1530. Okay, it looks good to me. So 1530 looks good to me. You can see I'm having a very tiny text right here. So let's just go ahead and do something to our font family. So our font family, to change the kind of font, you can see the kind of fonts that we have. Let's just use cursive. Let's see what cursive are for us. Well, cursive doesn't have anything new. Let's try to use fantasy. Oh my god, is it my eyes? It doesn't look like this is working. I think it's my eyes is working already. So let me try something like lucida sans serif, like there. So this editor already have a lot of front family for us, so don't worry. Yeah, I'm still going to teach you how you can import. You can see I like this font. This actually makes sense. It's making really, really cool. So how you can import a font from another file, then put it on our web page. When we get there, we're going to see. So we are having this now, which means that we are already having a kind of a website that is having a very good navigation bar. The question is, what if I actually don't want all these guys right here? I don't want it to be placed on the left. I want it to be on the right, or I want it to be on in the middle. It is very simple. It's just about clarity. We can go to the appearance, which is this, and do the text align. So right. So we can see we are on the right. So we're on the right now, or we can declare it to be center. Now we are on the center now. So people love to put it on center, or whatever the case, I think is good. So this is just a navigation bar for us that is very, very simple. Then we can come up with an idea of building something else on this page. So that is all for this section. Let's just move on to the next tutorial.